Oh, good afternoon, everyone. There's been a pretty strong rhetoric around the conference on, how bad the market is for gold equities, and I often think the darkest days are just before the dawn. So you can tell by the rhetoric in the room that I think we're just turning the corner for what is gold equities, and I expect in the next few months we'll see a turn in the price that will no doubt benefit a lot of people in this room. And why should ROX be at the top of your list? Well, there's a number of reasons, and probably the main reason to kick off is we have now consolidated the UME Gold Project. It is a strategic asset that covers 60 kilometres of strike of the UME Greenstone Belt. It has a proven history of high-grade gold discoveries, and we've got a 3.2 million ounce resource that sits at the heart of it. It is a high-grade deposit. That 3.2 million ounces comes in at about 3.6 grams. Of that, there's 2.2 million ounces of underground material there at 6.89 grams a tonne. It is a high-grade deposit, and as we know, grade is king. The significant upside at the project. We completed a scoping study in 2022 that we believe shows that there's massive upside. There's the potential to upscale that project from 480,000 tonne per annum and get that up to 600,000, 700,000 tonne per annum. And that will no doubt create a significant increase in the ounces produced at the project in the future. It is a high-grade gold target with dilution and everything taken into account. The underground plan comes in about over 5 grams a tonne. There's not many producers in this moment in time producing gold at greater than 5 grams a tonne. We have ongoing exploration. We've just completed a placement now of $7 million. We have finished the end of July with $2 million in the bank. That gives us a total war chest of about $9 million to see us through the coming months and years as we look to continue to drill out the project and get it ready for feasibility studies. We're located about 100 kilometres southeast of Mount Magnet in the Murchison district, which is a hotbed of M&A activity at present. Ramelius Resources Penny West Gold Mine sits at the heart of our project. It's the only tenure over that 60 kilometre strike of the UME Gold Belt that isn't owned by ROX Resources. The consolidation of the project does now give us a different view on how we continue to develop this asset. It is a high-grade potential underground mine that we're looking at UME, but this regional area now does present significant upside. We have strong support from our shareholders to continue to progress the project, and after the placement we've just completed, our major shareholder, Hawke's Point, have vowed to increase their stake and they'll go up to 9.9% of the register. It is a large resource, 3.2 million ounces. There is a significant inferred component to that at 1.9 million ounces. We've spent over $4 million drilling out a large portion of that inferred resource to get that into feasibility studies. The results have been coming back are spectacular. When you're getting consistent results at 10 metre widths at over 10 grams a tonne, it shows that this will be a highly suitable resource for underground mining. And you don't see many intercepts very often where you're continually getting grades up and over, and it's quite funny when you get disappointed when you're seeing a grade that's not in double digits. And some of the holes we've drilled at Link have been the deepest holes we've drilled at that project to date. And if we look at the UME Deeps, the deepest hole that's been drilled at the project in the history sits 970 metres below surface. That's still going 6 metres at 16 grams a tonne. We know we've got the right geology. We know we've got the structure. These resources will continue at depth. And I've got no doubt that as we continue to drill at Link and other areas, we'll continue to expand this resource at depth. And that bodes well for our future production scenario. As I said, the scoping study, we believe there's significant upside here. As we continue to add indicated resources, I'd expect to see The overall production plan increased to around that 600 to 700,000 tonne per annum, and that'll give us the expectation that we're going to produce over that 100,000 ounces per annum run rate. And when we have a look at the newly consolidated project, there is significant upside in the exploration potential. This is a belt that is sat under a joint venture with not much love over the past 4 years. And when you look at some of the areas that we've got to target in the upcoming exploration campaigns, you'll see that there is potential for further high-grade gold discoveries. We've gone through the pipeline of projects, and we've ranked them in areas of importance, from everything from greenfields exploration all the way through to resource development. And one of the areas that's really exciting, it sits about 4 kilometres north of Ramelius Resources' Penny West project. There was an area drilling campaign conducted at Currans Find. This project has a significant amount of high-grade gold attributable to it already. What we have here is a number of intercepts, that's not the right one, number of intercepts between 3 to 4 metres wide, grading at over 20 grams a tonne. This prospect, I've got no doubt that when we wheel the rigs back out here, we'll continue to see further high grades in the drilling as we go out here. And this sits just 4 kilometres north of the Penny West high-grade gold deposit. Midway is one of our near mine target areas, and these have the ability to slot straight into our production plan. Midway is located about 300 metres in the hanging wall of the UME main lode, and again we've been seeing 3 to 4 metre wide zones here of significant high-grade mineralisation. Now, the area to the south of UME is somewhere where we've had great success of late. We made the Paddy's Lode discovery, which sits about 200 metres to the east of the UME main lode, and it looks to be a fault offset of the UME main lode to the south. This area to the south sits under about 100 metres of cover and is yet to be tested by deep drilling. We conducted an IP survey over the area to better target some recent drilling campaigns to get an idea of what's happening at that area, say 150 metres below surface. And what that's given us an estimation of is we do seem to see 2 parallel lodes here to the south at UME. Similar to as we see to the north of that east-west cross-cutting fault, where we've got the Bunker and UME main lodes. This is an area that has never been drill tested. Previous drilling only went down to about 40 metres of depth and barely got through the transported cover. The first deep drilling that we did at Paddy's Lode hit 28 metres at 35 grams a tonne, and the follow-up drillings continually showed 8 to 10 gram per tonne intercepts over a 3 to 4 metre width. There is a number of faults that look to run through this area that offset the ore, and with the IP survey that we've conducted, it's given us a better understanding of how to target this with future drilling campaigns. I've got no doubt the more that we drill to the south here, the more gold we'll continue to find. And there's a number of high priority targets that we want to line up in the next campaign. We'll look to target the potential offset of this Paddy's Lode, as well as the footwall structure that sits in behind it. We also have a structure that sits on the UME main shear, which is the source of the fluids which generated the high-grade gold or deposition of gold in the area many, many moons ago. We've been having a look at some prospect definition as well. So not only do we have lots of near mine targets where we have the potential to build and add resources, we're having a look at greenfields project development, because this tenure's sat under a 50-50 JV for a long period of time, and it hasn't had the love that should have been applied to it. We've done an air core campaign over an area called Target Area 1 that's shown these splay structures coming off the UME main lode that have the potential to host high-grade mineralisation that, again, haven't been followed up with any RC programs. As we look to the south, further at Currans Find, we also have Linda Gosson, where there was an intercept at 9 metres at 15 grams a tonne from surface that was never followed up. So some of these walk-up targets that we believe that we'll be able to add additional high-grade ounces to our production profile. And when we look at the district itself, there's lots of greenfields opportunity. We have a number of anomalies that sit off the UME main shear that have the potential to host high-grade gold deposits, and we'll continue to look for those in the current drilling campaigns. So as I said, there's 3 reasons why you really need to look at Rox Resources. We've already got a high-grade gold scoping study that shows we have the potential to become a producer in the next few years. We want to push that through feasibility studies and be able to prove up this resource so we're sitting here as a 3 to 5 years' time as an underground miner producing high-grade gold. The exploration activities that we're conducting have the potential to add significant amount of ounces and high-grade ounces, which everyone knows in this environment is of more importance than mining lower-grade deposits. There's a lot less risk in mining high-grade underground mines, and when you have a look at some of the outstanding performers in the gold space over the last few years, grade has always shown to be king. We'll continue to look for these near-mine discoveries as well. So this area to the south of UME is an area that is highly prospective. It does sit under around 60 to 100 metres of transported cover and depleted cover. But what this does show that a lot of the exploration techniques that have been used in the past have been ineffective. And when you're looking at an underground development and already 200 metres away from the UME main lode, you're finding a new zone that's running 8 to 10 grams where you're going to put an underground mine in. This is showing that there's high potential to continue to add mine life at this project. We'll keep the feasibility study work ongoing, and we'll look to target that completion hopefully sometime next year. Thank you very much, everyone. And if you've got any further questions on the UME Gold Project or Rox Resources, I'll be standing at the booth. Thank you.